Hey, Missy here with Southern Theory Designs, and this is part 4 of the epoxy method glitter tumbler for Courtney's birthday. And everything is dried up. Our water slides are looking really good on here, and now it's time to apply my epoxy. I've mixed it. I'm doing 32 ounces of art resin. So let's get started and get the sucker turning and finished. I do have a little heater going here because it is kind of chilly outside. So without further ado, let's get this baby rolling. I do have some micro bubbles going on even though I heated my epoxy. So what I do to get rid of those is I just go in a swirly motion and it pops the bubbles. But I will address those bubbles even more when I hit it with the heat. I'm going to turn my heater off because I let my cup get nice and warm. We're just going to put a nice thin coat on. I don't like very thick cups. Move it around to the next side. And as I always say, I do my cups the way that works best for me. It might work best for you to do it a different way, but this is what works for me. And since this is my final coat, hopefully, I'm just going to go onto the rim. To make sure I have a nice seal. And if my husband comes out, I'm sorry. He came home to visit me for my birthday today. And I don't think he knows I'm making a video. Surprise! I do see some bubbles that I'm going to have to address. But that is okay and expected, especially since I noticed these micro bubbles when I was mixing. No matter how slow I mixed it and I heated it up for a little bit, there's always going to be some micro bubbles here and there. And as you see, I always take my extra and use it on the bottom. I don't like a thick bottom. I might have overmixed, but that's okay because I have some jewelry molds that I can put this in. I'd prefer to overmix than undermix. Sure, I get the edges really good because that's usually a spot that you're going to have problems with glitter sticking out. And as always, I try to smooth it out the best that I can, making sure that if any of my water slides have a dimple on the edges, that's smooth. I'm gonna turn my heater back on when I'm done, because this art resin that I use from Hobby Lobby does not mind heat at all and actually prefers the heat. And this cup will be dry to the touch in about 4 hours, and I'll be able to put it on my drying rack. Of course, it will not be cured in 4 hours. It'll be cured in 3 days, but I won't give this cup away until I've had it for about 4 to 7 days curing inside my house at a very stable temperature. I'm really excited for her to get this, and I just want to thank everybody who gave me suggestions on where to put the name, because I was really not sure how to do her name on here, but I really like, I would never have thought to use a gold. I would have used like a pink or a pink or a silver, since there is some silver around the black. Just make sure. Okay, I'm gonna just. I'm just smoothing it out now, since I did do a nice pour on here. The epoxy really makes the water slides pop and have a beautiful color to them. Look how beautiful that is. And I'm just smoothing out the bottom to make sure it's not thick. And doing my top. And just a very little bit amount on my glove finger, just to make sure that the top and I saw a bubble over here. Just want to make sure it's a bubble and not glitter or epoxy cooties. This is a trusty butane torch. This is really good at popping bubbles. And I just saw a gnat flying around. I swear if a gnat flies into this, I will scream. And I usually over torch usually. So people usually just do it a couple times and it's done. I do it a little more. So here we go. And I'm just going to hit with my heat gun just to make sure I got all the bubbles. I know people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, Missy, that is way too much heat. Let me tell you, this art resin stuff that I use does not mind the heat at all. It actually likes it. Sorry. Dropped my syringe. It actually likes the heat. I will come back in about 15 minutes and I'll re-hit it, but I won't hit it as hard as I did because when your epoxy is setting up, it's going to give off some air bubbles, which is normal. So we're gonna let it go from here, and Courtney's cup is almost done and I think it looks amazing. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. Otherwise, see you later.